Hi there, my name is Fabian from P10X, and today I'm going to share all about window tint. Have you ever encountered this, or this? So, in this video, I'll be talking about 5 main points. Number 1, the benefits of installing window tint. Number 2, what to expect when you install window tint. Number 3, how to choose a window tint. Number 4, how to spot a bad installation. And number 5, what are the myths and the truth in this industry. Benefits of window tint. Look man, I don't have to tell you, Malaysia is a hot country. We are not a 4-season country over here, okay? So that's why if you don't tint your car, definitely you will become ikan bakar. Driving around in your car every day, don't you feel lucky you get to tint and protect yourself from the sun? Some countries don't even allow you to tint, or some don't even allow for the front windscreen to be tinted. Now, a good quality tint will be able to block out most of the heat. But if you choose a bad quality tint, not only to look dark, right? Then you tint for what? So another benefit of tinting, okay, is for a security feature. I'm sad to say, Malaysia, we still have a lot of car break-ins. That's why if you hear people saying, oh, don't leave your laptop in the car. Oh, be careful of your handbag at the passenger seat. Why take the chance? Install a tint that actually offers security feature. But security features doesn't mean it's bulletproof, right? It just means the window takes more force to actually break, more hits to actually break, buying you more time, especially in traffic light situations. So, if you are inside the car, broken glass shards don't fly to your face, causing injury and irreversible scar. Biar cermin pecah, jangan muka pecah. The next benefit of tinting, privacy. I'm sure a lot of you do research online and do work online using VPN for secure and privacy reasons, of course. Privacy in the internet is one thing, but privacy in your car can be achieved by installing tint. Don't you feel vulnerable when the car next door stares onto your soul while waiting for the traffic lights? Or if you're out on a date and you want to do some extra work research in the car back seat, privacy is actually important. Trust me.
Yeah, boy.
One often overlooked benefit is the aesthetics of the car. This is quite a subjective matter, but the car does look cleaner and more classy after a tint installation. So give it a clean look and doesn't allow for people to see through the mess that you create inside your car. If you're like me, you're lazy to clean up the insides of your car, tinting helps to sort of conceal the mess inside. Next up, what to expect when you tint your car. I know what's on your mind. How much does it cost for a good quality tint? There are a lot of grades for tints, and I will get into that later. But most importantly, you pick the one that is suitable for you. A good one for me may not be a sufficient one for you, right? So a decent quality tint price range is roughly about 1,000 plus, and an even better one can be up to 3,000 plus, or it may be even more. So what else should you expect depending on the product? A good quality tint should typically last very long, even last up to 10 years. So do you keep your car for 10 years? Maybe not, right? Regardless, it's not something that you buy every day. So if you find a problem, you can always get a warranty. Remember to check on their warranty terms. Typically, if it covers any film issues, bubbling, blurriness, peels, and any installation defects. Some can even cover color durability and also heat rejection lifespan as well. So no point in getting a tint with a very high spec at the beginning, but degrades after a year or two. Also, don't expect a 100% heat-free car after you install a tint. If you think you can park under the sun for 8 hours and enter into a fridge, don't dream, man. Heat enters through other parts of the car as well. And also on the films, it doesn't provide 100% protection from the sun. So take note of that. Next, you should check out on RFID and also smart tag. Have you taken a detour for a toll, paying a little bit extra, expecting a smoother drive, only to end up being stuck in a long queue because of one idiot at the RFID lane? Don't be the idiot. Usually a good quality tint blocks out signals in the form of infrared, right? And guess what? The signal is also for smart tag. So if you choose a high spec tint, most of the time you won't get to pass the smart tag, okay? And for RFID, it uses a different form of signal, but it's disrupted by metal. So if your tint has metal components in it, it will actually affect the signal. So if the tint blocks your RFID, right, you can always choose the RFID to be stuck elsewhere, like the headlamp. Now, the most important part of this video, how to choose your tint. There are so many brands out there. There are so many shops and so many outlets that offer these kind of services. So how to choose? Okay, nowadays, you just have to search for the term tint in Google or Facebook, and all the ads will start popping up. Compare them. It is free to ask and talk to them to see what they have to offer. Think back. How do you compare potential partners on Tinder? You have to talk to them. You have to see how's their personality, right? So, big brands, what do they mean? Do they mean anything? Of course, you need to take note that every single brand has a high range, medium range, and also low range. So, as a comparison, it is only fair to compare apple to apple products, right? But still, a well-known brand is at least a brand that has been around for years and that you can actually Google search it and some people will actually talk about it, right? At least that is more reliable. Next, we have to take a look at specs. Specs like IRR will indicate how good the heat rejection is, right? And also VLT will let you know how dark a film is, right? This is the normal way. But hear me out. IRR can only indicate roughly in comparison. You can even find a very cheap film, a couple of $100 to achieve 99% IRR, but it actually has poor heat rejection. How? It's actually a very complicated process and I don't want to bore you with it, right? But a better metric to use is actually TSER. It represents a more rounded description of a tint and also the specification, taking into account the VLT, the IRR, and also the UVR into consideration. Another factor to choose is also to look at the type of the film used. There are low-grade types of film like dyed film, right? There are also nanoceramic film, titanium nitride film, multi-layer sputtering film. There's so many types in the market. While a good film, it actually provides a good heat rejection, right? So heat reflective properties are usually on multi-layer sputtering film. What does it mean? It means that heat is reflected away from the car when you have the tint on. These are typically the best type of film for heat rejection. Another popular film that offers high heat rejection with high clarity, especially at night, is the titanium nitride film. It is a good heat rejection film and good clarity at night, making it safer to drive at night too. Other decent films, such as nanoceramic type, has good heat rejection properties compared to the others. All in all the films are actually okay, but try not to take the dyed film because these are the type that we call colored film, which offers very little heat rejection properties. But at the end of the day, all these numbers are just figures, right? The best way to check out the tint's heat rejection is to actually feel it in real life. Visit the shop and feel the actual demo and ask around to see how they feel, right? And also how they install the tint for other cars. Another reason to visit the shop is to see their workmanship, right? The working environment, the cleanliness, and also how they take care of other people's car, right? And also you'll get a general vibe of how they actually work. So this is actually very important. Also, one more thing is you can check on their online profile and also their social media preference and reviews to see what actually others think about them. Those are all on the tinting film, tinting specs, and the environment. But what darkness actually suits you? So, all cars should actually adhere to the JPJ specification for the darkness, which is 70% VLT for the front windscreen and 50% VLT for the front doors. Car owners that do not follow the JPJ regulation will be fined. We don't recommend not following the JPJ regulation on the tint. But seriously, there was a study that's done in 2015, right, by the Malaysian Institute of Road Safety Research, right, that actually a lower VLT, especially on the front windscreen, has actually yield a result that potentially decline your vision by a few meters. So definitely, right, think twice before you don't follow the JPJ regulation. Next, how to spot a bad installation. Well, let's visit a nearby store and let the professionals explain to you. Now we are here at Rhinepro Bangsa, and with me here we have Kelvin to explain to you how to spot a bad installation.
So take a look at the dust particles here. If you can feel them from the inside, those are definitely dust or debris. Actually, a 100% perfect job is not always possible. It is a manual labor regardless, but it should be kept at minimal and doesn't affect your vision or line of sight. Okay, so as you can see here, these are tint gaps. They don't affect much, but a good tint installation covers up properly that it doesn't leave any gap that looks physically unappealing. Okay, so tints are films that are flexible, so it may be folded by accident during installation. Actually, folds look like this. Usually, this will have to be replaced as soon as possible. Okay, so as we move on to the rear windscreen, one of the most common problems, air pockets. These are not filled with water and will not go away however long you wait it out. Air pockets are mostly on the edge and can be touched up if the tint hasn't fully dried yet. But if you see this, it's a bad quality film that had adhesive failure and will continue to expand over time. This mostly happens on the rear windscreens.
Thank you so much, Kelvin, for the great explanation. Now, moving on to the next point. Should I install the darkest tint for my car? Whoa. A darker film doesn't always mean a better film. Even a light film can also have high spec, good quality, and high heat rejection as well. What about the UV? Should I get the highest 100% UV? Let me explain to you. A high UV doesn't actually mean a good heat rejection, right? All of the film nowadays actually have about 99% or above UV already, so don't have to worry about UV. TSER actually doesn't take into account so much of UV ray. Is it better to have very high IRR? Does that mean good heat rejection for me? No. Actually, IRR is only a small metric that is used to measure the heat rejection. TSER is actually a better metric for overall heat rejection, or you can actually visit the shops and actually test the heat demo itself to actually feel the film. Next, sales advisor's recommendation tint. Is it good for you? Well, usually they recommend something near to you, but it's actually on your own due diligence to check out from the shop and the brand, right? The FOC from them actually does not actually mean it's a good quality tint, but definitely for you to ask for a spec and actually check whether you can upgrade to a better tint, right? Normally, free stuff might not actually be good stuff. Hope you enjoyed this video. For more tips about car protection services, remember to like, subscribe, and also follow all our social media page as well.